feeling a little sick. That sickness that accompanies extreme uncertainty. Well, we had a little bit of excitement. I was fast asleep and Nigel woke me up and said, "Hey, Capitan, Capitan." I love dolphins. It's 3:32 in the afternoon, December 29th, leaving Grenada. I love Grenada, so I'm bummed that I'm leaving. It's myself and a crewman named Nigel, who I've hired to help me sail to Bonaire. And here we go. Feeling a little sick, not seasick, just that extreme uncertainty. That sickness that accompanies extreme uncertainty. So, haven't had that for a long time, and here it is. 2.5 day passage, 400 nautical miles. Sailing off into the sunset. An exciting sunset. My first sunset on my own boat, nevertheless, at sea. Waving bye-bye to Grenada. Off in the distance there. We've got 1.5 to 1.9 meter swells hitting us abeam. And we are headed 306 degrees, which is nearly west. About 11:30 p.m. We've been sailing for 8 hours, probably 7 knots average, so about 50 some odd miles away from Grenada. Been having 15 to 18 knot winds the whole way. We're heading towards 311 degrees. We're on a starboard tack right now. And we're going to maintain that until we get to 13 degrees north latitude, at which time we're going to jibe and go towards Bonaire. 2 o'clock in the morning, and everything has stayed the same as far as wind, speed, direction, wave height, all that stuff. Super grateful that there's a moon out, otherwise it would be pretty dark. Yeah, and I gotta say, I've gotten a little bit queasy with the motion going on out there. I think just because it's dark. You know, I did the passage from Trinidad with no motion sickness or anything like that, so I think it's just because it's dark. I'll probably be happy as a clam when sun rises. So there is one incident that occurred. What happened is, so our port bilge gets water in it, and it kind of fills up a little more than it should, and the bilge pump goes off, and you know, drains that out. Well, at one point it went off, and it didn't turn off. So I'm like, oh shit, what's going on in the port bilge? And the good news is it was just one of those little wood stoppers that you gotta have near your through hulls. Yeah, one of those wood stoppers got wedged beneath the float switch. So, freed up the float switch and all is well. And I'll take care of that in the daytime and make sure that doesn't happen again. Alright, gonna get some rest while Nigel mans the helm. Saturday morning, December 30th, and we had a decent night. Wind was consistent all night long, running at about 15 to 18 knots. Waves were consistently 1.5 to 2 meters. It wasn't a bad sail. You know, my sail from Trinidad was much more difficult. That one had 3-meter seas. Very uncomfortable on that trip. So this one, not so bad, but still, you know, good experience. Well, we had a little bit of excitement. I was fast asleep and Nigel woke me up and said, "Hey, Capitan, you need some help." Remember those lazy jacks that I replaced in Port Louis? And I didn't do the one on the port side because I kind of ran out of time. They broke. Underway, we had to fix those. Nigel, God bless him, climbed up in there, climbing up the rigging, trying to fish, did the same kind of fishing I did. He got it. Since it snapped, the little ring that goes in there, you know, dangling way, way high. So, and you know, I'd already bought the line, just needed to put it on. So, it's on. Okay, look where it snapped right off here. And then the top piece that holds that large loop, that's an 8mm piece of line. Look how frayed it is. You know, I knew it was going to need to be replaced. I just didn't buy enough of that. You know, I need 100 feet of that. That's like $100 right there. You know, that's going to be number one when I get to Bonaire. We did get all the lower pieces in place, you know, the red ones. The only thing the store had was Dyneema. Yeah, it's a little bit overkill, but we'll take it. The batteries got a little bit low. We've been using the autopilot for about 16 hours, so you know, we got down to about 11.5 volts on the house batteries. So we fired up the Yanmar diesels, and we're now charging the house batteries with those. And I also put it in gear because it gained us another knot. We'll take it. Yeah, so we're doing 8 knots, 9 knots. Got the wind on our starboard beam, and yeah, we're still heading for our point where we want to jibe and go south-southwest towards Bonaire. The middle of absolute nowhere, the Caribbean Sea. Just hundreds of birds are just feasting on the sea. Big birds too. I don't know what those are. Anybody? Birders? What is that? It's beautiful. So it's 2 p.m., December 30. This is the first ship we've seen since last night at around, you know, probably 6 o'clock. I love dolphins. So this is our first dolphin escort in our own yacht. Cool. Just a couple. Nigel is an amazing cook. He made dinner. So yeah, he whipped up rice and chicken, and it was crazy good. After that, we discovered our batteries are fully charged, shut down the diesels. Yeah, the only reason we were motoring is for charging the batteries. And then we put a second reef in the main because it's now dark as can be. We won't be able to see any storms coming if there are any. And we are kind of heading towards Stormville. And I got one reef in the jib, and that will change if we get above like 18 or 20 knots of wind. So that's where we're at 8 o'clock at night on December 30th.